It was Team Catalunya Caixa Repsol's Marc Marquez who recorded an emphatic win in a shortened restarted race at the Gran Premio Aperol di San Marino e della Riviera di Rimini in Misano in front of Pol Espargaro and Andrea Iannone. Marquez had initially gotten the whole shot from the first start, with Iannone closely behind. However, the local favourite soon fought his way past the Spaniard. Shortly after, Federal Olgracini's Moto2's Gino Ria had an oil spill, which brought the red flags out and prompted a restart for 14 laps. Iannone started in pole position and soon got the whole shot as well, in front of Marc Marquez and Espargaro's teammate, Steve Rabat. Iannone, who had led for most of the race, was soon passed by Marquez and Espargaro, who pulled away and were involved in an enthralling last lap battle. Espargaro had forced his way past Marquez, yet the championship leader fought back. Espargaro tried in one last move in the penultimate corner, yet couldn't make it stick as he ran wide and Marquez stabbed it up the inside. And it was ultimately Marc Marquez who held his nerve to take his 7th win of the season in front of Espargaro and Andrea Iannone.
Alex Rins took victory in the Moto3 race at Misano, with Alex Márquez and Jack Miller joining him on the podium. Despite requiring a medical checkup after sustaining heavy contusions on both legs in a warm-up crash, Rins produced an excellent ride to win for the second round in succession and strengthen his title credentials. Márquez and Rins took the battle to the last lap, with Rins getting the better of his compatriot and colleague by just 0.042 seconds on the line.
So the lights go out on what would become one of the most dramatic ever MotoGP races at the San Marino Grand Prix. There was rain on the grid already as Lorenzo got the whole shot into turn 1. Look at Marquez there in second place, Rossi in third, but Bradley Smith had gone from 6th to 4th. But by lap 6, the rain started to come down heavily, and we saw the riders flood into the pits to change to wets. As Scott Redding, you see there, crashed at turn 4 on lap 6. He struggled in the wet conditions on slicks. It became a game of chicken at the front between Marquez, Lorenzo and Rossi until they finally came into the pits with 7 laps gone to change on to wets. Now, just watch here as Lorenzo switching bikes and Marc Marquez almost come together as they exit pit lane. Lorenzo just gives Marquez a signal to calm down. Well, unfortunately, there was going to be no calm to come for any of the riders as the race would just become even more intense. You see there, Yoni Hernandez taking out Alex De Angelis on lap 10. That was at turn 6. Now, at the front, Lorenzo was leading from Marquez. But look, Marquez decided to make a move on lap 14 up the inside of Lorenzo at turn 10. But then had a look around and let the Yamahas through, because he was going to use those guys as his reference points as when he would need to come back in to change to slicks. Because believe it or not, at this point, the track was starting to dry. Rossi then made his move on Lorenzo into the lead at turn 1 on lap 17. The 2 riders almost touching, and the crowd goes absolutely wild, but you can see what the dry track was doing to those wet tyres. Rossi and Lorenzo stayed out while Marquez decided to come in to pit at the end of lap 18. Now, as you see there, Lorenzo's tyres were being ripped to shreds, and he decided enough was enough, and he came in to swap to slicks with 8 laps to go, while Rossi stayed out for 1 more lap. But at this point, the riders were over 10 seconds a lap quicker than Rossi. But then, one of the most dramatic moments of the season. Could this be Lorenzo's championship hopes going up in smoke as he crashed out with 7 laps to go at turn 15? This meant, with the riders who'd been lapping so much quicker than Marquez, Lorenzo and Rossi, that Scott Redding overtook Loris Baz into 3rd. Now, while Marc Marquez took his 4th victory of the season, 1st at Misano and 23rd in MotoGP, Bradley Smith claimed 2nd place on the podium, his first since Phillip Island last year, and his 2nd overall, and Scott Redding completed his career best MotoGP finish to complete the podium.